Let's jump into it. Number 9. Emotional abuse. Growing up in an environment where you're constantly criticized, humiliated, or told you're useless, you're a burden, leaves deep emotional scars that shape the way you see yourself and the world. Day after day, a child learns to associate love with pain, attention with shame, and self-worth with the impossible task of pleasing others. These words are not just sounds. They become the internal voice that follows you into adulthood, whispering that you'll never be good enough. Research by XUAL et al. 2021 shows that emotional abuse has the strongest link with core BPD features like emotional instability and feelings of worthlessness, turning what should have been a safe childhood into a battlefield for survival. Number 8. Physical abuse. Children who are beaten, threatened, or witness domestic violence often develop an overactive stress response. Their brains learn to stay on constant alert as if danger could strike at any moment. This constant fear floods their bodies with stress hormones, keeping them tense, jumpy, and hypervigilant even in safe situations. Instead of learning that home is a place of comfort, they learn that safety can disappear in a second. This can lead to emotional outbursts, poor impulse control, and deep fear of getting hurt, not just physically, but emotionally. Many adults with BPD still carry this invisible alarm system, reacting to everyday conflicts as though they're fighting for their lives. Number 7. Sexual abuse. This is one of the most devastating forms of trauma, leaving behind shame, distrust, and often leading to dissociation, a disconnection from one's own emotions. The child learns to survive by mentally leaving their body when the pain becomes unbearable, turning numb just to get through it. This coping mechanism, while protective at the time, can later make it hard to feel safe in relationships, to trust intimacy, or even to recognize one's own feelings. Many BPD patients report feeling like they don't belong in their own body, a haunting sensation that can follow them for years, a painful reminder of those early experiences and a barrier to feeling truly whole. Number 6. Emotional neglect. No one listens when you cry. No one validates your pain or joy. This silence can feel louder than any shout, teaching a child that their feelings are invisible or unimportant. Over time, they stop sharing, stop hoping for comfort, and may even stop recognizing what they feel at all. This creates a massive void in self-awareness, making you constantly seek validation from others, a hallmark feature of BPD. As an adult, you may find yourself desperately chasing approval, terrified of rejection because deep down, you're still that child waiting for someone to finally notice and say, "I see you. What you feel matters." Number 5. Insecure attachment. If your parents were sometimes loving, sometimes distant, you may have developed an anxious attachment style, always fearing abandonment. For a child, this inconsistency feels like emotional whiplash. One moment you're safe, the next you're left alone, not knowing what you did wrong. Your brain learns to stay on high alert, scanning for every tiny sign of rejection. This creates a cycle of clinginess and panic, pushing you to hold on tighter, often driving people away, which only reinforces your fear. Studies show that insecure attachment is one of the strongest predictors of BPD in adulthood, because it wires the nervous system to expect love to be unpredictable and conditional. Number 4. Chaotic family environment. Families with violence, addiction, constant conflict, or sudden divorce prevent children from learning emotional stability. Home, which should be a place of safety, becomes unpredictable, sometimes explosive, sometimes coldly silent. Their brains adapt to chaos, learning to anticipate danger before it happens, as if always waiting for the next storm. Over time, this becomes the normal state of being. And as adults, peace feels uncomfortable, almost foreign, leading them to unconsciously recreate the same turmoil in their own relationships. This is why so many people with BPD find themselves trapped in cycles of drama and intensity, even when they long for calm and stability. Number 3. Parents or caregivers with mental illness. Growing up with parents who are depressed, have personality disorders, or struggle with substance abuse means children often receive little care and may have to take on adult responsibilities too soon. Instead of being protected, they become the protector, worrying about the parents' moods, finances, or safety. This heavy emotional burden robs them of a carefree childhood, forcing them to grow up faster than they should. This leads to a loss of childhood and a prolonged sense of insecurity because deep down, they never got to feel what it's like to be truly cared for. As adults, they may still feel unsafe, anxious, or overly responsible for everyone around them. Number 2, invalidating environment. When you grew up in a space where every tear was met with "stop crying" or "don't be so dramatic," you learned that your feelings were wrong. This constant dismissal silently teaches a child to distrust their own emotions, to hide pain rather than express it. According to Marshall Linehan's model, 1993, this type of invalidating environment plays a core role in the development of borderline personality disorder, BPD. Over time, the child may suppress feelings so deeply that they explode later in unpredictable, intense ways. What they needed was empathy and guidance, not criticism, to learn emotional regulation and feel safe in their own skin. Number 1, bullying or peer rejection. It's not only family that shapes us. Peers can leave deep wounds too. When a child is constantly bullied, mocked, or left out, it plants the belief that they are unworthy of love or belonging. Day after day of ridicule erodes self-esteem and creates chronic fear of rejection. This social pain can be as damaging as physical harm, wiring the brain to expect hostility and abandonment. Over time, the child may become hypervigilant, people-pleasing, or withdraw completely, trying to avoid more hurt. Research shows that chronic peer rejection is strongly linked to emotional dysregulation and a higher risk of developing borderline personality disorder, BPD, later in life. Now that we've looked at these 9 causes, let's step back and see how they work together to shape a person's life. Here's the bigger picture. These causes rarely exist in isolation. A child who faces emotional neglect might also witness domestic violence, or be bullied at school, or grow up with a parent battling depression. These experiences stack together, not just adding pain, but multiplying it, shaping how the brain responds to stress, trust, and intimacy. And this is why simply moving on never works, because your nervous system has been trained by years of patterns. But here's the empowering part. Once you can see these patterns, you can start breaking them. So what do we actually do about it? Here's a clear roadmap to start reclaiming your life. Acknowledge your history. Say out loud, "Yes, this happened." Naming it takes away its silent power. Connect each cause to your life. Identify which of the 9 causes shaped you most. Awareness is the first step to change. Observe without judgment. When you overreact or shut down, pause and ask, is this coming from my past or my present? Redefine the story. Replace old labels like too sensitive or broken with I adapted to survive. Set boundaries. Limit contact with environments that recreate the chaos or invalidation you grew up with. Seek safe conversations. Talk about this with someone you trust so you're not carrying the weight alone. And these are not overnight fixes, but they are the first powerful steps to start taking your life back. Conclusion and message of hope. The reason I'm sharing these 9 causes isn't to blame the past, but to help you finally understand why you feel the way you do. And here's the truth. Your story doesn't have to end here. With the right tools, therapies like DBT, EMDR, or trauma-informed coaching, your brain can literally rewire. You can learn emotional regulation, rebuild a sense of safety, and create relationships that feel calm instead of chaotic. If this video helped you connect the dots, share it with someone who needs to hear this too, so they know they're not alone. And tell me in the comments, which of these causes hit home most for you? Remember it, you deserve peace, and it starts from here.